I'm just gonna yap. Don't expect insightful, structured no. I'm just gonna yap. I'm just gonna yap, okay? I, for the first time, read White Knights. I've never read Russian literature before, so this is it. I know that old novels are really hard for people with TikTok brain to read, and I'm really trying. Okay, I've read books before, but more newer books. This is 200 years old, so I read this last week. I finished it today, and just Dostoyevsky seems to be a very pessimistic person. And I haven't even read the other shit. Like, I know he has Crime and Punishment, and I know that, and it's a big book, it's a thick book, and I don't know if my mental health can do that, because I've read other books that made me a little depressed. So I don't know if I can handle that one, but we'll see. This book is basically about a man who calls himself a dreamer. He does not have a name, so let's call him the nameless narrator. He's basically a loner, from what I understand. In like the modern day world, he could be an incel, because he only indulges himself in fiction or just like literature. He walks around the neighborhood and makes fantasies about the houses. He gives them characters, he talks to them. Right? That's like how dreamers are, or how he is as a dreamer. And one day he meets a girl who's crying and weeping, and he instantly felt the need to help her because she was getting harassed. And then he calls himself the hero. So he's already like, he started to fantasize the moment he met her, because he sees like a woman in distress and he thinks, oh, I'm gonna do something here. People call this a tragic romance. I would say, yeah, it's a tragic romance. But the red flags were there, bro. You know what I mean? But I get it. People, we're human. She was also lonely, because she also used him because she was lonely and because she was waiting for somebody. But the problem here was that she let him know since the beginning that she was in love with somebody. And we also see like her backstory. She has a very lonely life as well, and she's taking care of her grandmother, and she's kind of resenting her grandmother because she probably has like a FOMO, or she feels like she hasn't like done everything in her life. But that's just like from my understanding. But she does start to like this guy, and she does start to talk to him about her love life and her own life, and she was just basically talking about herself. And she never asked his name, which is insane. I don't know how many times Nastenka's name was mentioned in this book, but it's probably way too much. And she never asked this guy for his name. And then at the end of the book, she dares to tell him that she loves him, but you never asked for his name, bitch. This is just how humans are. This is like, this stuff happens right now. This probably happened to you. This stuff happens. But she sees this as more platonic than he does, because this man fell in love with her the moment he saw her. And I have my notes here, but I really liked a quote that he said, because it's just so romantic and I loved it, and I love romance. Even though this was just fake, this was a fantasy. I don't even know if I can call this love. but that's just how I think. But a quote was, "Your hands are cool, mine's burn like fire. How can you be so blind?" I don't think she was blind. I think she knew. I think she kind of knew that, and she said it at the end when he confessed her love in the book. She admitted that, yeah, I knew you loved me, but I just saw it more in like a brotherly way. Sure, girl. But we can't really fully blame her because she really just talked about this guy, the guy that promised her to marry her a year ago. The problem that the narrator had was this man had to socialize more with other people. Maybe if he had touched some grass. No, I'm joking. He didn't see women as human beings in my eyes. He just saw them as like people walking around, and he really admired how women look. But, and I think Nastenka was one of the first women that gave him like a dialogue with him, and he felt like so many emotions because she was also like very emotional. And she really needed to talk to somebody. She really needed to talk about it. And I think when you have like, when you're bonding with someone about like these deep things about love and all these things, it happens. It just happens. But again, she was having a heartache. She saw it as a platonic bond. She never asked for his name. So again, how did he not get that? We don't know what your name is. Even for me, dude, I want to know your name. It is an old novel, over 200 years old, but it's very relevant in the modern days. Like when people say now that there's a lonely man epidemic, it's nothing new. It was always, it's maybe more extreme now because of social media. And social media has just a huge impact on how this generation views love or what we expect from each other, and it can get very ridiculous. And that's why like the marriage rate is really, really low with Gen Z. So but that's another topic. But how it is relevant today is people today are stuck in a fantasy. We besides like books are still a thing now, but we have movies and we have series. People create parasocial relationships with celebrities or influencers. I feel like this is in a way much extremer way now. We are like people are stuck in the fantasies. Also, people are stuck in fantasies because fantasies don't disappoint you. You're creating it on your own. You're like, this guy is making himself the hero of the story. He thinks he's doing her a solid by being there for her, and he's genuinely expecting her to fall in love with him, which at some point it almost happens, because the guy that promised her to come didn't come. He didn't come at first, and then this is like part of the book where I was like, oh my god, the Lulu saga for like 4 or 5 pages, where these two were just like, oh yes, we're gonna get married, and we're gonna take care of my grandmother. You need to move out of your house, and you need to move in next to us. And the Lulu saga, I swear, that was crazy. And also the thing is, like, the book is predictable, and I think that was definitely on purpose, because how do you really expect the guy that she promised to marry a year ago to come back, and she's still gonna be like, no, I don't want you anymore. I have this guy now I met 4 days ago. No, it doesn't work like that, dude. She's gonna leave your ass. So that's why I'm, again, like, we can't fully blame Nastenka, because it would be weird of her if the guy came back and she's dumb. She's saying, I don't want to marry anymore. I'm gonna stay with this guy. Wouldn't the nameless narrator be like, that's weird. You're not very loyal, aren't you? And she said it herself in the book that I'm not a cheater. I never cheated on him. But I guess when she found out, the guy didn't come anyways. But of course, at the end of the book, he came back. This girl ran into his arms, and nameless narrator just had to look. He had to get cucked. At the end of the day, he used her and she used him. But he let himself to be indulged in the fantasy too deep and too much. Dostoyevsky seems to be like a very pessimistic person, and this is just white knights, because I know there's crime and punishment, and I know generally that he is a pessimist and a realist, some might say, and he doesn't think that the Lulu is the Sululu, basically. I see the perspective. I can see his perspective, but I also believe that if you think too negatively all the time, the negative shit is gonna come to you. So, this could be a lesson about you're dreaming too much, and go touch some grass, go socialize, and just be careful you dive too much into fantasy land. But again, it's okay to be human. This is what humans do. Like, I can be a dreamer sometimes too. I like the book. It's nice to see that the modern day issues that we have right now are not modern day. This was always a thing. But yeah, I think it's cool to read, guys. You should read. I'm really trying to save my TikTok brain. Yeah.